Hi everybody, it's Ellen Jaffe Jones and welcome to our channel. And I just wanted to share with you two age group awards that I got in 2 days. Second place in both. Yeah. And this one, they just put it on the ribbon. Some races put it on the medal, but of course it's more expensive to do that, and races do the best they can. The first one yesterday was the 5K Resolution Run in Venice, Florida. Very competitive age group. And of course, most of the time it is because people, as they get to be 65, are retired and looking for a way to ramp up their health. And running is a pretty easy way to do it if you are injury free, and that's my whole thing, is finish without injury. I'm not about bulking up. I mean, I get enough protein and that's not an issue at all, but it's kind of fun just to be out there. And today I got second place, and this was the 6th annual Andrew Monroe Memorial 5K, and that was on Siesta Key, which is it was voted by Dr. Beach as the #1 beach in America about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe a little more than that. And that, of course, is before red tide overtook it, and that's a whole nother video we could do for an hour or more. But red tide basically is algae that is fertilized by animal agriculture runoff into the Gulf of Mexico, and Sarasota Bay got filled with city sewage a few days ago, so that may have reactivated the red tide that I personally smelled and choked on, because you can't breathe with this stuff around, which doesn't make it very good for tourists. And it's just so sad, but it just, the toxins from the algae are released into the air, and it's so sad. In fact, I met a tourist who said she had read the recent newspaper reports that said it was all clear, and booked a week, and she was really angry because her husband has some issues, health issues, and she felt she couldn't bring him out to the beach and didn't even want to stay there herself. So she was very mad, as understandably tourists should be if they're reading accounts from the politicians, of course, who some have said are in bed with the sugar industry, which is another source of the algae blooms in Lake Okeechobee in the central part of the state, which drains into the southwest part of the state where we are. So there are a lot of contributing factors, and of course people say it goes away when it really doesn't. It just depends on the wind direction, blows it back in when we get a front that comes in from the west. So anyway, this beach this morning is near Lido Key, where I was just a couple days ago, and I waited to sign up for this race, as many people did, just to make sure that it was hopefully free of red tide, because it's kind of hard to run on the beach and breathe deeply when you are taking in this nasty air that makes you cough and choke, which is what it does. So anyway, 2 5K age group awards, second place in 2 days. And that brings me to the next topic of the vegan reboot that I'm starting tomorrow. This is, by the way, these two medals were the 152nd and 153rd time placing in my age group since 2006, just on plants. And you can do this on a vegan diet, a healthful vegan diet. I always drink my beet juice full of nitric oxide, which releases more oxygen into the lungs, and so my experience is it's not only easier to breathe and race at these events, but also my times have improved over the last 2 years, and I've really been tracking this, or I should say my significant other has been tracking this, a retired banker, and so he's got a whole Excel program that has all this detailed and documented. So the last few races I've done, my times are like, 5K times are 2 minutes faster than they were for the same race at least 2 years ago. So it's exciting to see all that. And if you come to our challenge, it's completely free. You got to go to Facebook, and you can search it in Facebook, just Vegan Reboot Challenge. It's really the only one that's labeled that as such, even though there are all kinds of challenges. And what this is about is not, eating the right diet, because I'm not a registered dietitian, I'm not a doctor, so I can't really tell you the exact right diet. But as a certified personal trainer, I can request from you a 3-day food log and make general recommendations about what it might be a good thing for you to be doing. So every day, Monday through Friday, on Facebook, I'll be live, and you can ask questions there. I'll be talking about the topics of the day, different things we want to cover, and then if you have more questions, whether you get them in on the live or not, you can certainly post them down below. And when I get done here, I will post a link to the Facebook Lives and to the Vegan Reboot Challenge that I'll be doing. So that's noon every day this coming week, Monday through Friday. It's 5 days. We're going to be offering a lot of resources, shopping lists, that kind of thing. Things that might be helpful. I've been doing this for the better part of 40 years, not a straight line, because in the days when I was pregnant, there were actually doctors and nurses out there saying, oh, you better give your unborn child whey protein or they're going to have a protein deficiency. I mean, before birth, really. So anyway, we know things not to be that's not the case anymore, and there's a lot of great information out there to help you at whatever stage of life you're in. But registered dietitians, doctors, all in agreement within the dietetic associations that are out there saying that a vegan diet, a healthful vegan diet, is appropriate for all stages of life, and especially for athletes, because it's a low inflammatory kind of diet, and so the reason I joke I win my age group is just because I show up. It's not entirely true, but vegans typically, and I've been on enough panels now, we are always talking about how wonderful the recovery is, how easy it is, how little pain we have relative to our meat-eating friends who are racing. And it's amazing, the more I race and I see people with all kinds of different injuries and conditions, and people in my age group dropping out like crazy, especially because of osteoarthritis, which is something that vegans generally don't get. Animal protein, for if you could Google this, you can see the whole scientific explanation, but it lodges in the joints and causes joint inflammation. So even mainstream organizations like the Arthritis Foundation say it's great to reduce the symptoms of osteoarthritis in particular, and other forms of arthritis as well, to eat a healthful vegan diet to try and deal with that. No guarantees in life, of course, but it seems to be working really well for some of us. So hope to see you on the Vegan Challenge. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to post them below or on our Facebook page, which is called the Vegan Reboot Challenge. All right, everybody. Gotta run.